activity. Boom, go. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am hoping to get through this video without the darkness setting in. You guys know it gets dark a little earlier now. But I've been like sleeping all day because of work. So I've been like, I have to get this video done. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it stays light for us for the whole video. If you watched the last video, then you know that I had my event this past weekend. It was amazing. If you've been following me around on Instagram or Facebook, or if you're in the email group, then you know I've sent out quite a few follow-ups and kind of like how it went and things like that. So I wanted to do this video just a little different. In this video, I wanted to kind of talk about my like top 5 tips for throwing an event. So this was my first event. I have tried to throw events before if you've been around, or more so I've helped other people with events. They've kind of helped with me. It's been their events, never my own events, but kind of just like pushing and getting the public to come out. It wasn't super successful before. It wasn't that it was unsuccessful, it just wasn't as successful as I thought it was going to be. Right after the event, I put a little question box up on my Instagram and asked if anyone had any questions about like event planning or anything like that. And so this video is because I got a question about some tips for event planning. So that was why I decided to do this. And then the second tip, one of the most common second questions I got was, sorry, I just ran downstairs with Tate, and so I'm so, clearly I need to get back in the gym. But one of the second questions I got was, what did I talk about at the event? And I can do a little recap, just a little bit, and kind of show you guys some clips, but mostly it was about being intentional with your self-care, commending the women for taking the time out, coming on Saturday and being intentional with their self-care, right? Like that was the intention. They paid for it, they got sitters, and they showed up. Those are intention setting things. You plan, you do the steps, and then you evaluate it afterwards. So a lot of the feedback that I got from some of the women was amazing. They loved it. They felt that this event really did what they needed it to do.
And you always do fun stuff. But now that it's towards the end, I felt really good because I connected with other women who, their kids kind of do similar things with my son. I'm always worried about what Justin is doing. I'm always, comparing him and stuff. But it feels good that, they go through the same thing that I go through. And it was nice to take time out to hang out.
Yeah, I think it was nice. I think everyone coming into it, I think everyone's always a little nervous just because you don't know exactly every single person who's going to be here, if you're going to relate to them. But I think it's cool that we have moms from all different aspects who have older kids, younger kids, just able to come together and have fun. Like it was fun, even games, icebreakers, stuff like that. It helps, I think, everybody get to know each other.
Yeah.
And it was nice to relax.
And to win.
That was a shot. She said to win.
My pride.
Alright, anybody else?
I'll say really quickly. I've only been here for like 27 seconds. But, just
Very specific.
Yeah.
27
But no, just a little bit of time that I was here, just talking to everybody here at the table. I didn't get to talk, chance to talk to everybody else, but just the vibe, the whole thing. I'm like, oh, this is really, really nice. Like I know that I missed out on some great things today. I wish I would have been able to get here a little sooner, but yeah.
You're here.
Yeah. I'm happy.
That's mostly why I talked about being intentional for myself, for self-care, because after you set a goal and you do it, you feel so good, right? But you have to be intentional about it. You have to say, this is what I want to do. This is how it's going to happen. And so that was really what I talked about. As a quick recap, instead of showing you the whole 30-minute speech right here. So if you don't remember why this is important to me, go back to one of my other videos. I think it was my first video, maybe my second video. I don't know. They're all right here on this little channel thing, however you point to it. And that was why I even, in that video, I show why I'm trying this whole process of mothering the mama, or the mama program, is setting goals and helping these women be intentional about self-care. So one of my first tips is to plan some more, and then plan some more, right? Events is not something you could just do at the last minute. It's kind of something you have to put some work into. So it's something that you have to like go and do, like behind the scenes stuff, like picking out your venue or picking out your caterer or deciding even what you're gonna do. So it's a lot of planning that goes into it before events even start. I think that I started planning this event about 2 months ago. Anywhere from a month and a half to 2 months ago, I started planning this event. And that is even from what I was gonna call it, what we were gonna do, down to the decorations, down to anything. Like I started planning a month and a half ago. So it took some time to get some traction behind it, to get it up, before I could even announce it to anybody. So there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and I don't want you to skip that part because it's super important to like focus during that part. That part is what sets every other step into place, but you have to plan first. So your next step would be to have the right team. You guys have heard me say this time and time again, and I will continue to say it. Mani is amazing. She's my brand manager who came on with me maybe about 4 months ago, 4 to 5 months. I'm sorry if it's wrong, but about 4 to 5 months ago, I think she came on board with me and just kind of talked to me about my brand, came and kind of talked to me about things I need to do. I told her my plans. The most important thing I think about having a brand manager is to make sure that it's someone who will, A, listen to you, right? They take into account what you want. They take into account how you feel about things, what you want your brand to look like. But B, they also tell you like, no, that's not it. And Mani would be quick to tell me like, no, that's not it. But she'll say it in a way that's like, I mean, if you want to, but this is what I would do, right? And so during this event, I don't want to say I don't follow a budget, because I do follow a budget, but my budget just may be super elaborate. Whereas like, she was like, this is our budget. We're not going out of this. And I think it's really good to have someone who's like that for you and who can do that for you, because there's someone to hold you accountable. There's someone to kind of keep you on track. And then it's not just about having just a brand manager, but anybody. Talking to my friends before Mani even came on board, I would talk to my friends continuously about this event, got their ideas about it, got them to say like, what do you think about this? Or showed them ideas. Just in general, I was blowing their phones up with this event. This event didn't originally start out as like a mommy spa and social. It started out as like a trip to a spa and then some other stuff. And they just were able to like give me ideas, and Mani was able to like tone it down. Like, here, they're right. Great idea. This is what we're going to do instead. Or not instead. This is what we're going to do to kind of lower it down. And stay on budget. But I think that is super important in your team. It's not just you. I know that being a single mom, for me, a lot of times it's all me. I'm superwoman. I do it by myself. You know, everything's getting done by me. And I think that it's important to have people on staff and people that you can rely on and people you can depend on, because it keeps you from having to be a one-woman show. And when you're planning an event, the last thing you want to do is be a one-woman show. It'll work, but it'll stress you out in the process, right? And it'll cause a lot of unnecessary like drama. So easier to just get a team behind you, always. So my third tip is to expect things to go wrong, but don't stress about it. I am a stressor. When things go wrong, I'm like, oh my God, that can't happen. What do we do to fix it? All these things, I stress about it. Again, people on your right team, having the right people on your team kind of eliminates that stress. Like, there were plenty of times that I had called Lex and been like, hey girl, I'm stressed. And she'd be like, relax. Or like I'd call Mani and be like, oh my God, this store doesn't have it. And she's like, girl, you good. Like, you're good. Don't worry about it. You don't need it. Okay, cool. We're good. So, you know, you just have to let those things kind of roll off your back. If you watched my last video towards the end, you saw the little clip on how things were going wrong. Like my vendors were canceling. My hair appointment got canceled. It was just a lot of things kind of back to back 2 days before the event. And so I was starting to feel like okay, things are starting to go wrong, and this is where it happens, right? But it's important to remember, like, let it go. Things are going to happen. That's just inevitable. And when it does, the quicker that you let it go, I just like had that whistle that like But the quicker that you let that go, the quicker you can find a solution and move on and fix the problem. So it's very important to just expect that, but let it go. Remember I was talking to you about that whole budget thing before? Make a list before you go shopping every single time you go shopping for the event, because it will help you stay on budget. My first few times that I went shopping, I did not have a list. So I just went to the store, and I'm the type person where, ooh, that looks nice. Ooh, I could do this with that. Ooh, that has to come home. And then, I used everything for the event, but some things I didn't need, right? It would have helped me stay on budget a little bit more. I didn't go too bad over budget. Yes, I went over budget. However, it's me. But I didn't go too bad over budget. So for me, that's a win. Claps for Asia because I did it, okay? But make a list. So if your list is to get balloons, like for example, one of my lists was balloons, cups, because I gave away these little cups. So balloons, cups, silverware, plates, bowls, whatever. When I went to the dollar store to grab some of these things, it was important for me to have that list, so I wasn't like, oh, but I also need this. Oh, and look, these are only $1, because I'm so good for that. But make that list, and stay on budget, and not even just on budget, but on goal, because you'll get to your event, you'll have a bunch of extra stuff, and then you'll be like, oh, I don't even need this, or oh, what did I want to do this for? And sometimes you'll have all that extra stuff and realize you don't even have what you need. Thank God that didn't happen to me, but I've had that happen before. So list it, follow the list. Bring the list, at least, please, to the store, and then follow the list. So my fifth and final tip would be to live in the moment. I have told so many people this so many times before, but that like you'll never be in this place again in your life. I will literally never again have my first event. That's it. This was my first event. I'll never have it again. Hi. You say hi? Hi, Dennis. Say hey. But I'll literally never again have my first event. This is it. I'll never have my first event again. So the most important part, excuse his hair, I didn't do it today. So the most important part is to remember that you'll never have this moment again. So live in it. It's my first event. That chaos of that first event, it's important to like sit and live in it, because you literally, you won't have that again. That feeling, that sweet feeling. Yes, baby. Okay, hold on 1 second, okay? That sweet feeling of that chaos, right? You'll never have that again. And then it's important to live in the moment. All right, come here. Okay, you want a ring? Here. It's important to live in the moment, because then you'll remember some of the things that happen. You'll remember it, and so it's so pretty. No, sorry. This is the chaos I'm talking about, right? Live in this chaos. Oh, it has a crown. Live in this chaos. You'll never have this moment again, and it's so teachable, right? Guys, I gotta wrap it up. As you can see, Tate is ready to be entertained, and also it is starting to get dark out. So, 5 tips again. Shh. Goodness. The first tip, let's hope I can remember these. The first tip is to plan. The second tip is to have the right team. The third tip is to... The third tip is to... What was the third tip? Lord Jesus, Tate, you're throwing me off. Mama. Be quiet. Goodness, the third tip was to expect things to go wrong and live in the moment. And then the fourth tip was... Oh, okay. The fourth tip was to write a list, take it with you. And the fifth tip was to enjoy and live in the moment. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much. I hope you follow, you subscribe, you share, you like, right? Can you say bye-bye? Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye. Good job.